everyone, welcome to another edition of the PSL Watta Fast. And often we're slaves of routine, which means today that as always we've got two guests. One of them is Rehan, who I'm not going to be speaking to at all during this episode. But the other person on the episode is the most popular player in the PSL right now, as well as future Pakistani citizen, none other than Sam Billings. How are you, Sam?
Who's that? I'm very well, how are you?
I'm great, man. So, brilliant innings last night, your best ever T20 score if I'm not wrong. Talk us through that innings first.
Oh, well, I mean, it's easy if you've got guys like Shane Watson coming in and taking...
Stop being humble, Sam.
No, I'm being honest. So actually, in terms of how I went through it in my mind, was actually if I was there at the end and let the other guys from the other end, and then every now and then try and put on the pressure as well. You kind of try and complement each other, and yeah, like I said, he's been fantastic both with the ball and the bat. But again, I think it's the strength of this squad. Obviously losing a couple of players, but everyone's kind of put a performance in now. So Brad Haddon, Misbah, Dwayne Smith got a 50 as well, and then you've got Shadab Khan, who came in and bowled brilliantly last night as well. Sammy, everyone's kind of chipping in, so it's good signs for the rest of the tournament.
So for you personally, you were here last season as well, and this time around it clearly seems like you're really enjoying yourself. What's changed from the previous PSL to now? Yeah,
a lot of change for me anyway. I've definitely developed as a player, I hope anyway. Yeah, so last year was my first ever experience of being an overseas player and the pressure that comes with it. So it was a huge learning curve, and actually I put myself under way too much pressure last year, and then from that experience, obviously I didn't quite do as well as I wanted to do, but then you take it on board, and then I went to the IPL, and then I've played in the Big Bash since then, and a bit more international cricket as well. And there's no doubt that over time I've just worked out my game and exactly what I need to do to make myself tick. And again, it's developing aspects of your game. I've only opened recently, I think I've only opened 5 games or something, so that is another learning curve. Like last night, instead of just trying to slog every ball out of the ground, it's about pacing your innings for as long as possible.
So I think something, as you pointed out yourself, last year when these guys signed you, a lot of us who've been following you were really excited about your potential. And now I'm much older than you are. And the England I saw growing up was just, you know, watching paint dry. They were just they were, almost everyone was contractually obligated to be fat and have bad moustaches. And now
I'm going to have to say no comment to that.
But what I wanted to ask you was that the generation of English cricket that you're part of has really radically changed.
Clean cut image,
yeah, those
athletic,
those nude photo shoots.
Yeah, I know, that was terrible. Yeah, I think the game's changed though, and it's actually becoming far more like a professional sport. I mean, you look at Virat Kohli, who single-handedly wants to change the face of Indian cricket. And I think every country can look at that and think, you know what, this guy is not only doing it for Indian cricket, but cricket around the world. You look at Misbah in the gym every single day, and he's 42, I think, 43,
yeah, and
he's as much as an athlete as anyone in this tournament. So actually, guys like that, role models like that, you need the best players like that setting examples. So yeah, cricket needs to be a sport like football now, like rugby, all these other sports that are so much further ahead in terms of professionalism. You just can't afford to be carrying weight or eating badly or sleeping badly now. It is a proper job, and you've got to take it seriously.
Okay, so I mean, I know you're not going to comment, but one thing that's also changed is the mentality that the current generation has. And if you go back to yesterday's innings, first at the start, Anwar Ali was somebody that was being difficult for the other batsmen to face, and then I felt there was this one over where you just decided to take the attack to him. Can you break us down, like what exactly was going through your mind when you decided to do that?
Yeah, they bowled really well up front, really, and then I think it was maybe his second or third over.
Yeah, I think it was third.
I charged him, actually got one out to the middle, through the covers, and then the next ball again, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and put this bloke under the pump. All of a sudden went for a Yorker as well, and I got the clip away. But when someone's bowling like that, it's funny, isn't it? 2020 cricket is, the fine lines are so small. So one day you might take a punt and you might hit it straight at cover, and that's the end of your day. But yeah, luckily it just came off for me last night, and it's about trying to put that pressure back on him. Last night they bowled fantastically well, like I said up front, and every now and then best time to bat is the first 6 overs, so I had to try and put it back on him, really.
So there's Anurag in one end, and then the teenager Hassan Khan was also bowling really, really well. And I was just looking it up. I think you spent like 8 consecutive singles off him before you finally went charged and got a boundary off him. So what was the difference? Obviously with Anwar you decided to take the attack on much earlier than you did against the spinner.
Yeah, I think he did bowl fantastically well, and so did Nawaz. Both very good prospects. I mean, I played a lot against Nawaz now. Last year he got me out reverse sweeping, so I wanted to kind of get my revenge. I got him a little bit in the summer against Pakistan A as well, so it's always a good battle against him. But I think if we were trying to chase 180, 190, then we would have had to take the attack a lot earlier. But actually, the only way they were going to really get back in that game is if their spinners had actually taken a few more wickets as well. Right. And it's about, especially with Sharjah, the wicket and the boundaries are so small for a batsman that actually it's about taking it as deep as possible. So that was the game plan, really, is that if we were happy to go at kind of 7 and over against those guys and be happy with it. So
I feel bad that you're still sitting here and we haven't spoken to you. So
no, you said you weren't going to speak to him. Don't speak to him now. Hey?
So Riyad, I mean, without taking names and this getting embarrassing, there's obviously a big difference between young Pakistani batsmen and someone like Billings. When you guys, having seen them practice, what's the major difference that you can spot in the two?
I think, first of all, in year 1 when Sam Billings came to the team, we were really excited to have him on board. Especially Hassan and I were talking how we think he can be one of the great batsmen, to the point that I've been telling him for a year now that he's going to be the greatest English limited overs batsman of all time. And he laughs it off every time.
He's drunk.
Who do you think is better than you?
Well, there's obviously quite a few at the moment.
As far as we're concerned, Billings the best.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah, none of them can sing Dil Dil Pakistani.
There you go.
So that's the key thing, anyway.
Yeah, so I think the first year we saw him, he was trying too many shots. He was, even in the nets, he was doing that paddle shot and the reverse field and everything. And this year he seems far more calmer even when he's practicing. So yesterday he was practicing in Sharjah as well. And Hassan and I were talking, we were watching him play, and he was just playing conventional shots. And that's something he's worked on. And also he was, so this is an interesting story. While we were going to the stadium, he showed me a shot that Virat Kohli played. And he was like, what a great shot. And unbelievable.
The best shot that I've ever seen, probably.
And I honestly think he can play that shot.
What was the shot?
He just hit...
So Taimal Mills in the recent ODI, recent 2020 series in India. Taimal Mills bowls as quick as anyone in world cricket and banged it in kind of a good but heavy length, quite short, outside off stump, and he's hit a straight back shot over mid-off for 6. You just think...
And it's not even a hard...
It was straight back, and he actually looked as if he was going to try and pull it and thought, you know what, I'm not going to try and pull that, and I'm going to hit it over there instead. He just looked as if he had so much time, and that's why he's one of the best players in the world. And sorry to kind of butt in, that's the kind of level all of us want to get to. Yeah. And actually watching guys like that, and that's the great thing about these tournaments, is playing with Shane Watson, playing with Brad Haddon. I can go on, the list goes on and on. Sangakkara's in the same competition, etc., etc. And that's where you learn the most, is about watching these guys, how they practice, how they go about their business, what they do in the gym. Just picking up things every now and then, and what works for them won't necessarily work for you, but if you can just take a little bit from him and whatever, hopefully that'll progress you as a cricketer. And yeah, I'm sorry to butt in again, but I think that's quite a key point, is especially to develop your cricket. It really does help.
So one of the things also that we've seen is that you're very you have a lot of variety in your sweep shots. I think you have about 3-4 different ones. Can you break those down for us?
I'll just close my eyes and swing. Yeah, it's a strong shot of mine. But again, that's the key thing for me, like you alluded to a minute ago, was last year I put way too much pressure on myself and kind of felt as if I had to show everyone what I can do in terms of everything I do, as opposed to just keep it simple and play. And that comes with maturity, that comes down to experience and actually learning about your game far more. But in terms of sweeps, the positive thing for me last night was I didn't play one sweep, reverse or sweep shot to any of the spinners. Mm-hmm. And that's a massive thing I've worked on. And it's nice that it's come to fruition last night.
Why was that a good thing?
Well, it's something I've been working on so hard, is actually, instead of just relying on sweep shots, being able to hit down the ground, hit straight, hit over extra cover. I think I said to Hassan last night, the best shot I hit last night was the 4 over extra cover, because I've been waiting so long to put that into a high pressure situation when I wanted to play it and be totally in control with it. So like anything, you've just got to put the work in. If you put the work in anything in life, you will get better at it and you will become good at it. It's just about having the right mental approach and putting the hard yards in, really.
So just one thing on the sweep story. So Misbah sometimes tells the team what to do, what not to do, and he was saying that, you know, a sweep shot, don't try to take the risk and start the ball keeps low. And he said, doesn't apply to you, Billings, you can keep sweeping. That's how good he is at the sweep shot, and everyone knows how good he is. Despite him getting out, everyone trusts him with the sweep shot.
Yeah, any shot you're gonna get out sometimes, aren't you? But that's the key thing, is not to just put it away and go, you know what, I'm not playing that again. Occasionally, a bowler will outfox me and think, you know what, he might put it in like Misbah did last night. No one's going to tell Misbah to stop playing the sweep shot, are they? So, I think it's a key thing. You just kind of learn in different conditions and weigh it up, really.
So, just moving on, I know the Dil Dil Pakistan's a huge hit, but but like, were you like really good at theatre as a kid? Were you like at theatre, or would you partake in school plays or something? Because you've got this natural showmanship to you, and it's not just the singing. You do great impressions as well.
Well, I've just spent far too much time with Shahid Ajmal. We call him the CEO, the Chief Entertainment Officer. So I'm kind of working my way up to be his assistant, but I'm not quite there yet. It's just, like anything, you just try and have as much fun as possible. I mean,
where did you first hear Dil Dil Pakistan? At the PSL?
Last year, I think. Or it was the ODI series in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And it's a fantastic song, and I think again it's the atmosphere around the ground. As soon as that song comes on, every single person in the ground just all of a sudden is uplifted. So it's great, and I mean, I've got a lot of tweets the last few days about that, but it genuinely is just trying to enjoy the song and enjoy everything the PSL has to offer, and I'm just having a great time. So. I hope that comes across. Because
I think that was something else, like, I know he's changed his views, but, you know, back in the 80s, Sarain Botham felt, you know, I wouldn't send my mother-in-law to Pakistan, and then there's someone like you comes along from the same country who's really embraced that feeling. I don't think that was something you were trying to do consciously, but now do you have an idea of, like, how much it's meant to like, did you think it would have such a big impact on Pakistani fans?
No, not at all. I'm, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm just trying to embrace everything. I kind of said it last night at the press conference that these tournaments aren't just great for your cricket, it's great life experience. Experience different cultures, making great friends around the world in different competitions. And after you finish cricket, that's what's going to be the most important thing, is actually, you know what, you haven't wasted 20 years of your life, and you've got friends all around the world, and I think that's a really key thing. Just trying to enjoy it as much as possible, because I mean, you don't know when it'll finish up or anything. So just trying to enjoy it.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up. Before we go, there's one There's one segment that you're going to do for us in a bit. Before we do that, you've got a great sense of Asan, please, you're not even in the show. Asan, as always, loves the attention so much. You can hear his coughs in the background. We're trying to get rid of him, but he never leaves. That's all the serious stuff from Billings, and as always, we have the moment of Chan. For the moment of Chan, it's going to be Billings doing Danny Morrison. So stick to that, and we'll just play it right now.
Danny Morrison here, commentating in Sharjah.
Pereira is in.
Boom! Goal! It's out of the ballpark, buddy! Last time I saw a ball going in for JP Bowmany for the double D's.
Guilty.